To install the batteries, you have to remove the rubber cover, the one screw in the back, install the 3 AAA batteries provided. They provide you 2 sets of 3 AAA batteries, and then let's put it back together. So let's do a few testing. First, we'll turn it on, and the multimeter automatically starts in the auto ranges. It is a very nice multimeter. It has a very nice display. Let's do non-contact voltage as the first test. So press the auto until you go to the NCV. And this is the sensor. And there you go. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty effective. Let's do some other measurements. So let's measure a capacitor. To measure capacitor, go into the selection until you are in the capacitor measurement range. And here we go, 615 picofarads or 0.16 nanofarads. Okay, so here we go. We have a 470 microfarads capacitor, and we're going to measure it, see what comes up. This is 470, 50 volts. Get the right polarity here, and there you go. One thing you will notice is that it takes a while for the multimeter range to actually capture large capacitors. It does not have manual range as is portrayed in other reviews. It only has automatic range. So if you actually press the range selector here, it doesn't really do anything. As soon as you let it go, it will go directly into the automatic range again. So just be patient when you're using a large capacitor. Don't think the capacitor is bad or the multimeter is bad. It just takes a while, and obviously it does fairly precise measurements, so it's worth the wait. Let's do some other type of measurements. So let's measure a resistor. This case is a 22K resistor. There you have it. Perfect. And you can do the same thing if you put it in the auto range. If you go in the auto range, like so, you can just press resistor and it will automatically determine that is a resistor, and it automatically determines the range. And let's measure DC voltage, shameless plug to Amazon Basics batteries. Same thing. And there you go, 9.7 volts, nice and easy. And let's measure AC voltage now. Automatically, and there you go, 120 volts, 59.9 hertz. In voltage ohms, you could select the function specifically. For instance, I can select specifically what I wish to do, and you can also select the range. So let's say here we want to select the voltage range. We'd like to select AC, and I specifically going to choose the range that is adequate for 120 volts. And if you're going to do a lot of measurements on the same range, that works practically. It does not work, however, for capacitance measurements. It does work for voltage or for ohms measurements. And last but not least, let's measure some nice LEDs. So let's go into the diode function. And I don't know exactly what the polarity is on this, and I'm not gonna look for it. I'm just gonna test them. And you can see, wow, this is a blue and I have the right polarity. And let's see what this is. I probably have the wrong polarity, so let's flip here. And this is a green, and it's indicating the forward voltage on the multimeter. And let's see what that one is, and that's a red. So you can see that the forward voltage is actually quite different between the three LEDs, which is completely normal. One more item is this multimeter, when you are doing other measurement functions, for instance, if you're going to do current functions, it will nicely tell you where you have to put the leads for doing the particular measurement that you have, and it will automatically detect that you have leads attached and stop flashing those LEDs when that is the case. So overall, the KM601 KAIWEETS or KAIWEETS, I'm not sure how it is actually pronounced, is a great multimeter. I have not been paid for doing this review. I have not been given the multimeter for doing this review. I am doing it because I found this an amazing multimeter, and just basically made me actually replace my my previous multimeter for this. This is a 9999 counts multimeter, so it's a bit more precise than the typical 6000 counts that you would find on Amazon for similar price range. Overall, an excellent value.
On a donc là un petit multimètre sympa qui permet de faire tout ce qu'on en a rêvé de faire avec un multimètre. Alors pour le commander, on a sur le dessus la trappe de charge avec donc le cordon fourni, ici l'interrupteur marche-arrêt, ici le secteur de fonction qui va remplacer la grande vis de rotation qu'on a sur les multimètres mécaniques habituels, ici une touche de sélection qui va permettre de sélectionner selon le choix une unité ou une mesure particulière comme du courant continu alternatif. Alors ici une fonction annexe qui peut être utile, qui n'est pas indispensable, qui est la fonction lampe de poche, et ici l'enregistrement de valeurs maximum et minimum. Alors on commence par allumer par un appui long. Voilà, l'écran s'allume et se met en mode automatique. Automatiquement, le mode automatique. Donc c'est une aiguille qui se balade un peu et qui se met à l'écoute de la mesure qu'on fait. Donc la première chose qu'on fait, c'est qu'on va brancher au moins un câble. Idéalement le noir ici, donc le rouge sur le rouge et le noir sur le blanc. Et donc si je fais par exemple un test de continuité, voilà, donc on voit qu'il se met dans un premier temps en mode résistance et qu'il se met automatiquement en mode continuité après. On voit quand même on a un petit délai de 1 seconde pour que ça marche. Si je mets en mode résistance, voilà, donc il se met donc automatiquement en mode résistance. Alors je peux passer en mode manuel en appuyant sur la touche fonction, et là je vais déplacer mon aiguille sur une case à chaque fois. Alors on va commencer par la mesure de la tension, par les volts, en sachant que la touche sélection va passer en continu ou en alternatif, AC, DC. Donc on voit, c'est ça le principe. Donc je passe mesure de résistance, overload, donc une résistance infinie, bien sûr, puisque les électrodes ne se touchent pas. Si je touche ces électrodes, bien sûr, la mesure de la résistance se fait automatiquement. Donc test de continuité, millivolts, alternatif et continu, fréquence, capacité, test de diode, température. Alors la température se mesure à l'aide d'une sonde spéciale, sonde à température ici. Ici on a l'intensité, l'ampérage. Alors une fonction intéressante, c'est le no contact, c'est le test du courant quand on s'approche d'une source de courant. Voilà. Donc là j'ai une source de courant, donc par exemple ma lampe, ici j'ai ma lampe, je vais me rapprocher. Quand je me rapproche, Low, ça veut dire que j'ai une source de courant qui n'est pas très loin. Et high, ça veut dire que là, je suis contre ma source de courant. Donc ça, c'est quand même intéressant pour détecter les câbles dans une paroi. Alors, on a le détecteur de phase qui se fait également sur cette même fonction en test simplifié avec une seule électrode, la rouge, qui est branchée et qui est placée sur le fil. Voilà. Alors, petit multimètre très sympa, bien en main, avec toutes les fonctions possibles, un mode intelligent où on n'a pas besoin de se casser la tête, on sait, et on apprécie le petit système de rangement. Très pratique aussi, pour avoir toujours le système sous la main. Alors, est-ce qu'il faut mettre toutes les sondes à chaque fois? On va garder la sonde thermique et le câble de recharge. Et ce qu'on emmène, c'est voilà notre système dans la boîte à outils. L'essayer, c'est l'adopter.
Okay, here's an unboxing of the KAIWEETS Multimètre that I purchased from Amazon. I went with the rechargeable version, and it comes in this really nice zip carrying case. Comes with a service manual. I actually stuffed my service manual in the case. It comes in the box when you order it. It's a very nice unit. I went with the rechargeable version. One thing that's not really apparent in the Amazon ad is that these are physically buttons. When I originally was looking at purchasing this unit, it looked like in the videos that this was a part of the touchscreen, but these are physical buttons, which I really like. It's a very heavy, stout, pretty well built unit. Comes with this bag of your probes, which are very nice, heavy duty cables, good quality, as far as I can tell. These are pretty well built. You don't really see any weakness in the craftsmanship. They didn't really cut any corners. The probes come with plugs in the ends, which may or may not keep in there for very long. I'll probably end up losing those. The display is very bright, which a lot of people have said. I'm very happy about that. When you first turn it on, it goes into auto mode, and the way that it works is it will detect what it is that you're trying to measure, and it will adjust the setting internally for what it is that you're trying to measure. If you don't want to do it in auto mode, you can select the functions manually by just pressing the auto function button. And the thing that I was really impressed with, that I also didn't know was a feature, is that depending on which function you select, the actual probe sockets will light up, telling you which combination of these sockets to use. Now, if you're an experienced electrician, you probably already know that most of the times you're going to use COM and input, and then when you're measuring amperage in line to a circuit, you'll do COM and one of the either milliamp or amperage probe sockets. But it's very cool that it highlights those sockets for you to use for your application. Now, I haven't used this yet on anything, and I haven't compared it against any other multimeter to see how accurate it is. I've seen people do videos where they've compared it to other multimeters, and it's come, within, a fraction of a percent compared to other reference meters. So for this kind of work that I'm doing, I'm sure it's sufficient. It also comes with a temperature probe. And if you want to measure temperature, there is a function on here. Again, it highlights which ones to put the probes into. You pop those in. Now, this probe is already equilibrated with the room, so it should immediately recognize what the temperature is, and here it's 70 degrees Fahrenheit, which it is. It's pretty cool. I think it's so far so good. I definitely am happy with the purchase. And it's got some nuggets in there that you don't see in the ad.
नमस्कार दोस्तों, ये मेरा मल्टीमीटर, इसको अमेज़न से मंगवाया हूँ। दूसरे प्लेटफॉर्म पे तो कम रेट में मिल रहा था, लेकिन इसको टाइम ज़्यादा लग रहा था उसमें, इस कारण से इसको अमेज़न से मंगवाया हूँ। इसको टेस्ट करके देख लेते हैं लाइव। ये 12 वोल्ट का बैटरी है। $12.24 वोल्ट पुराना बैटरी है। चार्ज थोड़ा कम हो गए हैं। और इसको प्लग एडाप्टर में लगा कर चेक करते हैं। इसका रेजिस्टेंस कितना आता है उसको देखते हैं। से 500 किलो ओम का रहता है, लेकिन इसमें 250 के लगभग इसको बता रहा है अभी इसका किलो ओम। बहुत ही अच्छा मल्टीमीटर है। और इसमें जो सिस्टम दिया है ऑटो वाला, ये बहुत परफेक्ट है इसमें। धन्यवाद।
Terre agricole, 4 hectares de l'autre côté de la rivière.
T'as presque aucun peu le menton.
On fait affaire?
Tout ce que t'as, c'est ta parole. Et ça vaut pas grand-chose.
Au nom des fermiers, ça veut dire beaucoup. Vous mélangez une